scholars about the hukm of Salat al-Jama'ah and related subjects such as the prayer of women in the masajid, and also the minimal amount of people required to constitute Jama'ah. First of all, what is Salat al-Jama'ah? What is the hukm of Salat al-Jama'ah? Let me mention some hadith first. Two main hadith. One, hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar, and the other is hadith Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, in which Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, صلاة المرء أو صلاة الجماعة أفضل من صلاة الفذ ب27 درجة متفق عليه. صلاة الجماعة, prayer in congregation, is superior to a prayer performed individually by 27 degrees. We don't know how big or the size of the degree, but we can imagine that the salah, if you pray or perform the salah alone, is different from praying in jama'ah, even if you are two people. Salah in jama'ah will be much more rewarded. You will get 27 more reward than praying individually. So in the other hadith, hadith Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, صلاة الرجل في جماعة تضعف على صلاته في بيته وسوقه 25 ضعفا. So here Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says the prayer of a man in congregation is 25 times more superior in reward to his prayer in his house or market. One hadith said 27 degree, daraja, right? And here 25 more superior in reward. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَذَلِكَ أَنَّهُ إِذَا تَوَضَّأَ فَأَحْسَنَ الْوُضُوء ثُمَّ خَرَجَ إِلَى الْمَسْجِدِ لَا يُخْرِجُهُ إِلَّا الصَّلَاةِ لَمْ يَخْطُ خُطْوَةً إِلَّا رُفِعَتْ لَهُ بِهَا دَرَجَةٌ وَحُطَّ عَنْهُ بِهَا خَطِيئَةٌ فإذا صلى لم تزل الملائكة تصلي عليه ما دام في مصلاه ما لم يحدث تقول اللهم اغفر له اللهم ارحمه اللهم صل عليه اللهم ارحمه ولا يزال في صلاة من انتظر الصلاة متفق عليه. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, this is because he makes the wudu and perfects it and goes to the mosque with the sole purpose of performing salah. He does not take a step without being raised a degree and having one of his sins erased. When he prays, finish salah like we are doing now, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among them. When he prays, as long as he does not lose his wudu, the angels keep on praying for him, saying what? Oh Allah, bless him. Oh Allah, have mercy on him. So we believe in that. Hadith muttafaqun alayh. We believe this. The angels are surrounding us. They come to hilaq al-dhikr, this class like this in the masjid. They surround us and they keep praying for us because we are done with our prayer. We are supposed to be home now, but we made a decision to stay in the masjid for the sake of Allah, for seeking knowledge and so on. So the angels are making dua for you now. They say, Allahumma salli alayhi. And the salah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon his servants is blessing, right? Allahumma arham. Oh Allah, have mercy on him. So someone now is praying for you. The angels, the pure creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are now praying for us. And he is considered in salah as long as he is waiting for the salah. If you pray Maghrib and you decide to stay until Isha, you are in salah. Even if you're not praying, you're reading Quran or staying, waiting for the next salah, as long as you have wudu, staying in the masjid, then you are in salah, reward-wise. Hadith, as I said, in Bukhari and Muslim. Now, what is the significance of Salatul Jama'ah? Praying 5 times a day, agreed upon, all Muslim scholars or madhahib, they are in agreement. Every Muslim capable must pray 5 times a day. We know this. But there's something unique here, which is not the case in many other religions. In other monotheistic religions, they pray perhaps together once a week, but nobody is required to go to their synagogue or church 5 times a day. Islam is very unique in this. That we should pray, and we should pray in jama'ah. As much as we can. We'll talk about the hukm of Salatul Jama'ah now. Everything in Islam direct us to be with the group. Stay with the jama'ah. If you cannot even do it, then at least you have to do it once a week, in Jum'ah Salah. We cannot perform Islam in totality without being in jama'ah. You must be in jama'ah. You have to be involved. You have to see people and interact with your Muslim brothers and sisters and so on. So Salatul Jama'ah, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and his Sahaba could not pray Jama'ah in Mecca. We know that for 13 years. They were unable to pray together in public. They used to hide somewhere in the house of Al-Arqam, Abi Al-Arqam, or somewhere in the في شعب Mecca, يعني hidden roads between high hills. They hide somewhere and they pray there. But they could not build a mosque. They could not come together as a community. But once they arrived to Al-Madinah, the very first thing the Prophet ﷺ did is building what masjid? No, not Al-Qiblatain. Quba. Masjid Quba. We have people from Medina here, so I have to be careful. So, right? أهل مكة أدرى بشعابها, right? And أهل المدينة أيضا أدرى بشعاب المدينة. So Masjid Quba at the boundaries of Al-Madinah, not in the heart. That in the heart of Al-Madinah is Al-Masjid Al-Nabawi. We know the story. But the Prophet ﷺ built this masjid, Masjid Quba, أول مسجد بني في الإسلام. And then Al-Masjid Al-Nabawi, when he moved in, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he spent 2 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks in Quba, and then he moved to the heart of Al-Madinah, and then he built his masjid and his hujurat, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. But this makes a strong statement. He did not even wait, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to go to this holy place. We call it now Al-Masjid Al-Nabawi. But he prayed, he built a masjid in Quba. And there's another important masjid in Medina. Not everyone know about it. Very unique masjid. Masjid Al-Jum'ah. So we have the experts here. Masjid Al-Jum'ah. Why is it called Masjid Al-Jum'ah? Because أول Jum'ah في Islam. The first Jum'ah the Prophet ﷺ prayed was between Quba and Masjid Al-Nabawi. When you go to Medina, if you get the chance to go and see this, it's on your way, actually. I took a taxi driver and on my way from Masjid al-Nabawi to Masjid Quba, it was Saturday, to pray there. He told me this is Masjid al-Jum'ah. Can we please stop there? And took a look, and beautiful masjid. There's a point here. The Muslim community cannot be established without the masjid. The masjid is the heart of the community. We cannot perform our deen completely without the masjid, without jama'ah. So that's why we are always encouraged to pray in jama'ah. And we'll talk about this also in jama'at other than the jama'ah in the masjid. So the Muslims were always encouraged to pray in jama'ah, to come frequently to the masjid. Of course, in the Muslim countries, there are plenty of masajid. So at the time of adhan, you hear multiple adhans, right? Coming from this masjid and from that masjid. So masajid are always conveniently built close by so people can go and pray and come back. And we also need to remember every time you come to the masjid, okay, the Prophet ﷺ talked about the steps we take to the masjid. If you perfect your wudu at home, come out of your home to the masjid for the sole purpose of praying, for no other reason. Every step you take is ibadah. One step raises you 1 daraja, and another step erases 1 khati'ah. So the blessings of salah and the mercy and generosity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not to be only found in His house, but also once you make the trip from your home to the masjid. Every step counts. Now we don't take steps, most of us drive, but it will be also inshallah counted as darajat. You will gain plenty of hasanat and many of the sayyat will be erased inshallah. فإذا صلى لم تزل الملائكة تصلي عليه ما دام في مصلاه. Once we finish our prayer, that's why it's always important after salat just to stay, make some tasbih and dhikr and dua, and make sure that the angels are praying for you. Stay for a while, make some tasbih, tahmeed, and dua for yourself, for your family, and inshaAllah you'll get this great blessing. The third hadith we have here is وعنه أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال أتى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم رجل أعمى. Blind man came to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I don't have a guide. Okay, I don't have someone hired to take me from the masjid, from home to the masjid. ليس لي قائد يقودني إلى المسجد. فسأل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن يرخص له فيصلي في بيته. Can I pray home? I'm blind, nobody to take me from the masjid, from the home to the masjid, from my home to the masjid. فرخص له صلى الله عليه وسلم, most merciful of all men. He said, well, okay, you can pray in your house. And then فلما ولى دعاه. So when this man was about to leave the masjid, then he called him back, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And he asked him, do you hear the adhan? He said, yes, I do hear the adhan. Then Rasulullah sallallahu said, فأجب, then you have to come. Ajib means respond. Ajib al-du'a, when someone calls you, and ajib means like istijaba, yani come to the masjid. In other words, the Prophet ﷺ told him to pray at home, and he asked him this question, which reflects the distance between the masjid and the house. So if you hear the adhan, this means you are close enough from the masjid. And he said to him, if you hear the adhan, then come to the masjid. Blind person with no guide. Hadith in Sahih Muslim. وعنه رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال والذي نفسي بيده لقد هممت أن آمر بحطب فيحتطب ثم آمر رجلا فيؤم الناس ثم أخالفه إلى رجال فأحرق عليهم بيوتهم. حديث متفق عليه. Require also some explanation. In this hadith, Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم says that I was just about to order someone to call the adhan and someone else to lead the congregation, and I collect dry wood. And I go to those people who don't come to the masjid and burn them or burn their homes. Sounds very extreme, right? Hadith in Bukhari and Muslim. Why would Rasulullah ﷺ go and burn people's homes? People sometimes hear when they hear these things, they don't know the entire context. That's why they jump into conclusion. That's why we have to be very careful when we narrate this kind of hadith. Hadith in Bukhari and Muslim, right? We know Rasulullah was sent as mercy to all mankind, right? Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Would Rasulullah go and burn people's home? And would he burn the people inside the house or ask them to move out and then burn the home? So burning homes is an act of violence that nowadays we cannot imagine a good person would do. But we need to understand that although hadith is sahih, he was speaking sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the munafiqeen. Those who claim that they're Muslims, but they are the worst enemies of Islam. And their sign was that they don't come, especially for Fajr and Isha. He ﷺ knew the munafiqeen. Imagine the Prophet's masjid. Many of the best of all people, Sahaba radiallahu anhu, and the worst of all people, in the Prophet's masjid. Muhajirin and Ansar, and you have munafiqeen. Read Surah Al-Munafiqeen and read Surah Al-Nisa and Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah talks so much about the munafiqeen. إن المنافقين في الدرك الأسفل من النار ولن تجد لهم. This is surah called Surah Al-Munafiqeen, right? والله يعلم إن المنافقين لكاذبون. So he was speaking about these people. So why didn't he sallallahu alaihi wasallam expose these munafiqeen? Okay, or took an action against them? No, he did not do sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He did not take any action against them. He said, I wish I could do this. Because these people are the worst enemies of Islam and Muslims. You know the munafiqeen, people of Quraysh, the kuffar of Quraysh, you know the kuffar of Ghatafan, you know the Jewish tribes in Medina, Bani Qurayza, Bani Nadir, Bani Qaynuqa, and Khaybar. You know the enemies are clear. That is an enemy that you can face and you can defeat. But when the enemy is within, that's even more difficult. That's why Allah said about the munafiqeen, they will get even more punishment in the day of judgment than the kuffar. They are in the lowest level of the hell. إن المنافقين في الدرك الأسفل من النار ولن تجد لهم نصيرا. But he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was establishing this new community. And Al-Ansar radiallahu anhum were, before the coming of the Prophet, they were mushrikeen. And then they came to Islam. Allah guided them to Islam. But they have their cousins, their uncles, right? Their brothers, their relatives did not come to Islam yet. And if he ﷺ had taken a very drastic and violent action against the munafiqeen, this could have broken the ties of the new established community. That's why he ﷺ did not take any strong action against it. He did the opposite, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul was the head of this munafiqeen, the head, Ra'sul Nifaq in Medina. Have done so many horrible things, many horrible things. One of the things he did was, we should mention Surah Munafiqun, when they were coming back to Al-Madinah, he said, لَإِن رَجَعْنَا إِلَى الْمَدِينَةِ لَيُخْرِجَنَّ الْأَعَزُّ مِنْهَا الْأَذَلُّ. When we come back to Al-Madinah, the most honored will expel from Al-Madinah the most humiliated. And he means himself, the most honored. And Rasulullah ﷺ is the other. And Quran recorded this. And every time he does something horrible, some of the Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, murna falnadrib unuqahu. Let us kill him. He said, no, don't do that. His son, his own son, Abdullah ibn Abdullah, his name is also Abdullah. He said, Ya Rasulullah, if you want to kill my father, let me do it. I don't want to have any hatred against Muslim brother. If you want to kill my father, ask me, I will do it myself. But Rasulullah ﷺ, what did he say? بَلْ نَصْفَحُ عَنْهُ. We will forgive him. He let go. He doesn't want to create problems in the community. Because once, he ordered someone to be killed, he has relatives. And people just came to Islam. He does not want to cause this division and hatred and animosity. And also keep in mind, Aus and Khazraj, two branches of Al-Ansar, were fighting each other. And now they're brothers. You want to keep this. That's more important than taking action against Al-Munafiqeen. Despite the pain that they're causing to everybody, including Rasulullah himself in his own personal life. We know all the hadith al-Kifk, what they said about Aisha, his wife. In Surah An-Nur. Accused his wife, Aisha, al-Mu'mineen, radiallahu anha, Ummuna, she's our mother, because the wives of the Prophet are our mother, the mothers of the believers, as the Quran says. They are like our mothers. He is the one who initiated this. He's the one who started this. وَالَّذِي تَوَلَّى كِبْرَهُ مِنْهُمْ. He led these false rumors and spread it everywhere. For 1 full month, the Prophet ﷺ was suffering, and his wife, and Abu Bakr, of course, the father of Aisha. But he ﷺ decided not to take drastic action against them. They are kuffar, they are bad, they pretend they're Muslim, and he ﷺ said this policy very, very clearly. We'll accept from people what they say. We're not going to open up their hearts to find out whether they are truthful or not. Very important policy that I wish we all adopt this understanding. In one battle, Usama ibn Zayd, radiallahu anhu, al-Hibb ibn al-Hibb, the most beloved and the son of the most beloved. His father is Zayd ibn Haritha. They came back from the battle, and everybody was talking about what they did, and he said, yeah, this guy, I was fighting him, and I brought him down, and before I finished him, he said, La ilaha illallah. And then Rasulullah asked, what did he do? He said, I killed him. And the Prophet was very angry, very mad at Usama. He said, you killed him after he said the word? He said, Rasulullah, he said this just to protect himself. So Rasulullah said, did you open up his heart and found out that he was lying? And he kept, repeating this. You killed him after he said the word. We cannot open up the hearts of the people to see whether they're Muslims or not Muslims or kafir. One of the worst phenomena in the Muslim world is this phenomenon of takfir or excommunication, as Christians actually use this word. To judge someone as a kafir, like what happened to this governor of the Punjab that has been killed by his own guard. Remember? What was his name? Yeah. And the one who killed him is considered a hero, shaheed. Why are you so blasphemy law and all these things? Just people are very quick to judge. Oh, no, he's out of Islam. And then go and shoot and kill and cause all this. Who are you to judge whether he's Muslim or not? The guy is Muslim, prays and makes hajj. You disagree with him on something. And you see the fatwas coming as kafir. And someone goes, of course, because he's kafir, then it's okay to kill him. And he was killed. And so this business of takfir, to judge people as not Muslims, we have to stay totally away from this. That's not our job. That's not our business, to judge people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will judge them. There's a day called the day of judgment, right? It's not up to us. We just need to be concerned about our own self. So, again, this is the context. I spent long time talking about the context because this is very important. When someone comes to you and said, your prophet, you said he's the best example, mercy to mankind, and look what he said. Because people don't come and pray. That's extremism. You'll go and burn their homes. There's nothing can justify burning people. But his Hassan did not do that. But he just wanted to show how much these people cause so much damage to the Muslim community. He was just about to do that. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But he did not do that. However, this hadith is also mentioned in this context of Salatul Jama'ah, which will lead us to the hukm or ahkam or Salatul Jama'ah. Is it mandatory? Do we have to pray in Jama'ah if we are able to? What if someone is able to come to the masjid but he prayed at home or in his workplace, in his office or in his hospital or his school? Is it only obligatory upon those who live close by the masjid? In other words, can hear the adhan? Imagine if someone can climb to the rooftop of this masjid and call the adhan without using microphone, of course. Who can hear him around here? The nearest one living in these apartments cannot even hear. But again, at that time, someone used to go the rooftop and call the adhan, and that's why the muadhin used to say hayya ala salah and turn his face to the right and hayya al falah to his left, so everybody in the neighborhood get the chance to hear him, right? Three opinions. One adopted by Imam Malik and others and many of Ahnaf, is that it's sunnah mu'akkada. Sunnah mu'akkada means it's a highly recommended sunnah. The other opinion adopted by Imam Shafi'i and some Malikis suggested that it's fardu kifaya. Fardu kifaya means it's obligatory, but if group or small group of Muslims did the jama'ah, that is sufficient. That will suffice for the entire. Not everybody, not every individual must. The two kind of fard in Islam. There's fard ayn and fard kifaya. Ayn means every individual. So salah, you have to pray, right? But praying in jama'ah in the masjid is fard kifaya. Kifaya means if group of people did it, that will suffice for the entire community, right? Fardu kifaya, like janazah. When the janazah attends, we and the neighborhood, Muslim in the community know there is someone who passed away. Someone must take care of this body. If no one did, the entire community is considered sinners. Is this point clear? So this is the second opinion. Imam Shafi'i clearly mentioned this. This is fardu kifaya. In other words, some people are assigned muadhin, assigned imam, and those who live nearby the masjid. If they pray regularly, that will be sufficient. And the third group, they said it's wajib. For those who have no excuse, you have to pray in the masjid if you are able to, unless you have a valid excuse like rain, illness, and if the food is present. These are some of the excuse are considered. For the third group, which is a very small minority of scholars who said it is wajib, for those who hear the adhan, they quoted the hadith of the blind guy. So for those who live close by the masjid, can hear the adhan, okay, which means they're very close from the masjid, then they must pray in the masjid unless they have a valid excuse. And this also happened in the time of the Prophet ﷺ when many Sahaba, they prayed in the rihal. He ﷺ one day prayed and he found someone sitting in the back of the masjid. And then he said, "Are you Muslim?" He said, "Yes, I'm Muslim." So why you didn't join the Jama'ah? They said, "Ya Rasulullah, we prayed already in our rihal, in our homes, and then we came and we found you pray." He said, "Next time when you pray there and come and find the Jama'ah, join the Jama'ah. This is going to be nafil for you." But it's inappropriate for people to be praying and you're sitting there. People perhaps look suspiciously at you. Who is this? Is he munafiq? Is he kafir? Is he Muslim? So it's always good to go and join the Jama'ah. So the majority of the scholars are of the opinion that it is highly recommended. And some of them said it is fardu kifaya. However, if you can come to the masjid, if you close by, 27 times more reward. And this means a lot, right? 27 times more, right? These are the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and every time you come and visit the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will not go back empty-handed. Some ulama talked about whether to pray in the close-by masjid or the further masjid, right? If you have a masjid that is about 100 feet or 200 feet away from your home, and other one is 500 feet, which one? They said it's always better to walk to the further masjid, because again, every step you take, you get more reward. And some actually said it's better to pray in a bigger mosque when you see bigger jama'ah. When we talk about Jum'ah, inshallah, we'll talk about the Masjid al-Jami'. These masajid, small mosques, and the big mosque. At that time, it was the only masjid where you can pray Jum'ah. All these small mosques, they close on Jum'ah so that larger group of people come for Jum'ah. إن أعظم الناس في الصلاة أجرا أبعدهم إليها ممشى. Those who get the highest reward for salah, those who walk longer distance. And he said to Bani Salama, who live close by Masjid al-Qiblatain, when he heard that they are planning to move close to Masjid al-Nabawi, he said that I heard that you are planning to come, move, build your homes near my masjid. He said, yes. He said, now stay. دياركم تكتب دياركم تكتب آثاركم مفعول به لفعل محذوف تقديره الزموا دياركم تكتب أجوركم. Your reward will be written. When we come to the masajid, it's one of the adab is to walk to the masjid with sakina and waqar. Don't run, don't rush, and just be calm. Because when you drive or when you walk to the masjid, you are considered in a state of preparation for salah. Right? So you don't want to run or drive fast, maybe. صلى الله عليه وسلم ذات يوم فسمع جلبة فلما صلى قال ما شأنكم قالوا استعجلنا إلى الصلاة. They were rushing, right? Running and coming to the masjid, and you can hear this noise when people just run. And he said, what's the matter with you? He said, Ya Rasulullah, we were rushing to catch the jama'ah. He said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فَلَا تَفْعَلُوا إِذَا أَتَيْتُمُ الصَّلَاةَ فَعَلَيْكُمُ السَّكِينَةِ. When you come, don't do this again. When you come to the salah, you need to have this sakina. Sakina means like tranquility and peace. And, just go the masjid, don't run. فَمَا أَدْرَكْتُمْ فَصَلُّوا وَمَا فَاتَكُمْ فَأَتِمُّوا. Whatever number of rak'ahs you were able to pray with the jama'ah, and whatever you missed, make it up. So if you catch one rak'ah in dhuhr, then stand up and pray 3 more. You don't have to rush, just come, walk to the masjid in peace. Now a question regarding women. Should women come to the masjid? I know there are a lot of debate around this issue, which actually makes it clear that the customs and tradition of each community decides whether women should come or not. As I have heard that in many places in India and Pakistan, in Malaysia and Indonesia and Turkey now, I heard that there are some masajid, or most of the masajid have no place for women whatsoever. And some in Turkey, I heard the other day that there is place for women, but in Eid, for example, they don't come to pray Eid in the masajid al-Jami'ah. In South Africa also, someone told me in South Africa also, no room for women. So women don't come at all. Jum'ah, Taraweeh, Eid, nothing. And this is contrary, I would argue, to what was the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, the tradition at the Prophet time ﷺ. I know this is kind of sensitive thing, but I just want to let you know that that was not the way. Female Sahaba used to come to the masjid 5 prayers, including Fajr and Isha. And Rasulullah ﷺ said, لا تمنعوا إماء الله مساجد الله. Do not prevent women from coming to the masjid. وصلاتهن في بيوتهن خير لهن. Their prayer at home is better for them. So, in other words, in many issues, especially when it comes to women, because this is, again, it varies significantly from one community to the other. Islam did not make a very strict rules. Rather, he left space for the custom and the tradition of each community to decide what to do. So on the one hand, he said, don't prevent women from coming. On the other hand, said, it's better for them to pray at home. So if a woman does not have children, all her children grew up, and her husband allowed her to go, and no problem for her, they live very close by, and she wants to come, then nobody should prevent them from coming. But if she's like, her husband is sick, or her one of his kids are sick, or the kids are so young, and every time she brings them, they cause noise and distract people, it's better for them in this case to stay home. Because there are many wajibat. There is wajib of taking care of the family, and cooking, and taking care of the kids, and so on, and come to the masjid. If she's done with all this homework and she wants to come to the masjid, she should not be prevented. Some argue that, yeah, but that was the case in the time of the Prophet, but now since things changed and people are not as pious as the time of the Prophet, then women should not come because this can cause fitna. I don't know how weak this argument is, extremely weak. And the same people send their children to colleges and universities, and their daughters go respectfully in the market, buy things. So again, some communities are very conservative. They don't even send their children or their daughters to schools. This is their choice. And others, I would argue the majority of Muslims send their daughters to learn, and then they get jobs and they work with their hijab and so on. So, but here in particular, for American Muslims or Muslims in the West in general, our masjid is not only a place for prayer. We need to keep this in mind. When we consider hukm, we have to look at the context in which we are talking about. Many brothers are not scholars. I would argue the majority are not scholars. They cannot teach their wives. And sometimes we have very good speakers and lecturers and so on. And they actually need to be also educated, need to get this sense of community. In the Muslim majority countries, they have their own social network, relatives, family members, so they visit each other. But here, that's not the case most of the time. So when people come here, they come for ibadah, spirituality, but also come for education. They come to socialize with other Muslim families, for men and women to know each other and the kids to know each other, and so on and so forth. So basically, I would say that if they come to the masjid to get the benefit of the spiritual, educational, and social benefits without causing any problem at home or in the masjid, then there's nothing wrong if they decide to come. But if they pray at home, prayer at home is better according to the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I will stop here, inshallah, and let me end with this important point. The smallest number of people that makes jama'ah is two. And this is because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed. Sometimes he prays nafl and someone come and pray next to him. Like Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, قال بت عند خالتي ميمونة فقام بت I spent the night or slept over at my aunt's house. Maymuna, the wife of the Prophet. Maymuna bint al-Harith. And Maymuna is the sister of al-Fadl, the wife of al-Abbas. So he is Abdullah ibn Abbas. So it's his khala. So he used to go and sleep over. He was a young boy sleeping over in his aunt's house, which is the Prophet's house, right? So he was, Abdullah ibn Abbas grew up in this Bayt al-Nubuwah يعني. فقام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي من الليل فقمت أصلي معه. So he came and he stood at the left side of the Prophet, the left hand side of the Prophet. So the Prophet took him from his head and he brought him to his right. So he remembered this as a young boy. He remembered this day. Standing for prayer, and he wanted to join the Prophet ﷺ, but he stood on his left side, and the Prophet ﷺ took him and put him on his right side. Not behind him, not 2 steps behind him. I don't know, these 2 steps, that's when 2 people pray, usually, no, you need to pray in the same line, and the right of the Imam, if you are 2. If you have your son praying with you, then put him next to you on the right, right? And the hadith also, he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, من استيقظ من الليل فأيقظ أهله فصليا ركعتين جميعا كتب من الذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات. If someone woke up during the night time and he woke up his wife, or vice versa. Other hadith, ورحم الله امرأة قامت من الليل فأيقظت زوجها. So if the husband or the wife woke up before Fajr, and he woke up his wife or she woke up her husband to pray, and they just pray 2 rak'ah together, they will be registered among those who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala much. Third hadith, someone came after the jama'ah was over and he came and did not pray. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, من يتصدق على ذا فيصلي معه. Who would give sadaqah to this person by praying with him? So he would get the reward of jama'ah. Think about it, sadaqah, and as if you're giving him sadaqah, but it's not money. Something even more virtuous than money. And in hadith, if you Musnad Abi Shayba radiallahu anhu, he said, it's Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr said, I will do it. He stood up. He prayed already. I guess Dhuhr or Maghrib or Isha. And this guy, instead of praying by himself, Abu Bakr joined him. And for Abu Bakr, it was nafl. And for this man was fard, right? And a third or fourth incident. So in other words, if you prayed already and you see someone would not pray, and instead of letting him pray by himself, pray with him, and this is considered sadaqah for him. And of course, you will get the reward of that, inshallah. But this shows us how important it is to stick together as a community. At least 2 people pray jama'ah. If you are far away from the masjid, cannot come in this harsh winter weather, then pray with your children and your wife. Tell them, I'm going to pray. Now, it's prayer time, everybody will pray in 5 minutes. Everybody comes, you lead the salah, and they pray with you, and then make the tasbih and make dua together. So you pray jama'ah instead of having your children, everyone praying on his own. Let them know that. So inshallah, we'll stop here, and next time we'll talk about the imamah and who should lead the salah if there's no regular imam, and what if you come late, and so on. Any question before we close? Yes.
Just a question about the hadith. I do not know how strong this hadith is about 40 consecutive prayers in Masjid al-Nabawi. Is it true that?
The brother is asking about the hadith or the saying that if you pray 40 consecutive prayers in Masjid Nabawi, your heart will be clean of nifaq. Most of the ulama said this hadith is extremely weak. Yeah, extremely weak. So what I know, many people, they when they go for Umrah, they count the 40 salah and then they schedule their program between Mecca and Medina based on this. Very, very weak hadith. Right? Yes?
Sometimes one who comes to masjid, for example, I start to pray and somebody is joining me.
No.
But I made the niyyah to pray not to leave the prayer. How
Doesn't have to be. You don't have to have the niyyah. That don't have to have the niyyah of Jama'ah. If he come and joins you, that's good. Right? Yes?
Can the person being led have a different niyyah for different salah than the person leading?
Well, there's a dispute between the ulama regarding the niyyah of the imam and the niyyah of the ma'mum. But the majority of the ulama said that the one who prays fard can lead someone who's praying nafl and vice versa. Traveler can lead the people of the city and he can also pray behind them. وَالْقَائِمُ خَلْفَ الْقَاعِدُ وَالْقَاعِدُ خَلْفَ الْقَائِمِ. If the imam prays sitting down because he's sick, then everybody should follow and he can lead the prayer and vice versa. If someone is not able to stand, then he can sit down. اختلاف النية, it comes mainly the time when you are too late for salah. Yani, you missed dhuhr, right? And it's asr time. Now you want to pray dhuhr, but someone wants to pray you asr. Can this happen? Some ulama said no, you have to have the same niyyah. You have both to have the same niyyah. Others said no, it does not really have to be the case because you are praying for your dhuhr and he's praying with asr. إنما الأعمال بالنيات. And the change, اختلاف النيات, is jaiz. So all of dispute, but that's very rare, rarely happen, right? It happened often with nafl and fard and nafl. Remember in Taraweeh, when people come late, they missed Isha in Jama'ah, so it's advisable for them to pray first 2 rak'ah of Taraweeh with the intention of Isha. And then when the Imam makes taslim, then they stand up and pray 2 rak'ah because they are praying Isha. For us, it is nafl, for them, it is fard. So it's very, all our ulama, they said we should not make this an issue. Unfortunately, the mass majority of Muslims don't pray. We need to be more concerned about those who never come to the masjid, never pray. Not in jama'ah, not individually, don't pray at all. Right? So we need to just make things easy for people. Right? All right. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. إياكم وإياكم بارك الله فيكم. وإياكم جزاكم الله خير. أحسن الله إليكم. بارك الله فيكم. الله يبارك فيك. حياكم الله. شكرا جزاكم الله خير. We'll talk about this next time. Lela. وإياكم بارك الله فيك. جزاكم الله خير. الله يبارك فيك. وإياكم حياكم الله. بارك الله فيك. Hey man, how are you? Couldn't make it yesterday.